What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of my HLTV Fantasy. Today we are looking at Funspark Ulti 2021 Finals. Yeah, it's been a while since I last made a video, of course, since there's been a player break. And now HLTV today both announced the spring season, which is again going to be 10 grand. The slightly different prize pool distribution. And also the first event for the new season, which is going to be the Funspark Ulti event with these 8 teams. Let's just take a look at this. I guess I'm not sure if this is any different than previous ones, but no real difference, even if there is some slight adjustments here in the way that you should play. And then prize pool distribution, yeah, it's better this way for sure. Usually like top 10 being guaranteed some cash. I like that. Better this way. Than the first guy just grabbing 10 grand. Let's get into the actual event and the first fantasy. I guess let's first talk about if I want to get top 10, what my kind of thought process should be like to try and maximize my odds of getting there. At least at the start of the season and towards the middle, if it looks like I have a good shot, I will mostly be going for pretty safe picks and not making big risks as much maybe. And then if it seems like I'm out of contention already for top 10, then I might start trying to experiment a bit more and try and win some, like maximize my odds of winning a specific event or the event specific prizes, but we'll get to that if we have to. And for now, I'll just try and stick to who I think is going to be best. But the problem with that in this kind of event, for example, and I think for the beginning of the year entirely, is going to be that there's a lot of teams that are hard to predict. Like even in this one, I think it's probably you should expect Gambit to do well, but after that, there's definitely a lot of question marks. Like Astralis, how good is this Astralis? Tough to say. Like I would say there's great individuals if they have been, if they get some more cohesion. Since I mean, Config and BlameF are quite new team. They have a lot of potential, but it's hard to say if this is going to be an event that they are going to do well in. Those are the thing with this kind of event, that there's probably going to be some surprises. Entropic, definitely a team to look out for, especially like Alien. For 216 isn't bad. Fnatic, who have been awesome lately since the addition of Smuya. Big could be a good team with the addition of Faven now, who is one of the brightest talents in Germany, 100%. Sprout was doing super well for this or so, which is a team where Faven came from. So yeah, also Ecstatic, really a very decent team, and then K23 as well, with some new players. Instead of Mo and Adren, they've brought in Exipower and X5 G7V. But oh yeah, one of the things that also just straight up jumps at me in this is that Exile is not that expensive. Only 215 for Exile, who is very, very strong as a player, just generally, but definitely has these events where he's not that strong. I mean, you can't really say much about this event, right? Some very weird, very weird event, and it just doesn't matter how well he did at that. I'm not sure how much that like actually counts towards his price here. If it does, that's good that it does in terms of buying Exile, but not sure how that works. So Gambit's going to be one team that I pick from. I think that's probably a given for this one, which means I want to have no other team from this side of the bracket. Most likely. I probably wouldn't go for any of these anyways. Oh yeah, Extra Salt is actually not able to be picked right now, at least. Interesting. When are we playing this? Almost a week until then. Might add Extra Salt. I probably wouldn't pick them against Gambit though. So it doesn't really matter. And there's no events coming up to this, so there's no real reason for me to wait in this lineup. But yeah, I'll go Gambit. Probably Exile. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. It's been a while, sorry. I keep forgetting some things that I usually do. These are the most picked players. So it looks pretty solid. Crims picked quite a lot. Roland and Glaive actually, yeah. Glaive, if he's still doing opping things, might be a good shout. Has the opportunity to get more kills. Shiro pretty popular. Yeah, probably not the stupidest thing to do. 238 is expensive, but against this opposition, I think Shiro could do very well. I could see myself picking Nafani. Possibly. Or Inters as well. I think Gambit's always given. But I'll come back to which players out of Gambit I want to pick. Could be even Hobbit, honestly. Like, I wouldn't mind picking Hobbit over Exile if the money allows it. The real question for me is who do I pick out of these 4 teams? Between Astralis, Fnatic, and Big for me. I don't think I'm going K23. Fnatic is a very decent option. As is Big. Big would be great for economically. I don't think you pick Falvin after he's just joined the team. Searson for 139 or Tobson for 203, honestly. Could be real steals. Like this partnership I've picked a couple times, it's not really worked out. Maybe. And then you could go for like this maybe. Or this to get someone more expensive. 207. Who's the best player I can get for that? There's like Brolan and Config for 204. Nafani, it's like 189. Kinda awkward. Why is Lucky? I don't understand this ever. Why is he silver and he's bronze, although they are the same price? I'm not sure. There's probably some reasoning. What about like Hobbit and Inters? 202. Quite enough for. Well, not quite enough for a config, for example. That's kind of what I was eyeing with that. If you go Shiro, 184, actually not that bad. Like you can get one of the decent Astralis guys. Glaive or Xip. Okay, Tizian or Keto is like. Keto has great headshot percentage. I have Ketos and like this is the problem with this fantasy as well. Like I can't go as much about recent stats or stuff like this because the player break could impact quite a lot. There could be large fluctuations in stats at such an early event in the year. I probably would rather go Pearson than them. If I want to go big, that's maybe. But I think Shiro might actually be a good one to pick. Maybe you go Astralis with like this. You'll have 193. Back's not bad. Rims is not bad. This double elimination. But Crims had pretty decent, right? Yeah? No? This is very. We have only players from picked. We have Inters, Glaive, Crims, Big Shiro. Yeah. I think this might just be the lineup. I'm a pretty big fan of this, honestly. Like, this just seems like the best lineup on paper. And as I said, I'm not trying to fluctuate as much as I used to from what is here going on here. Like, I remember I used to talk about trying to kind of do something different, but I think this event is not one of the events where I want to do something different, really. Because there's a low amount of teams. I'll experiment more with once we have like pinnacle events and such where there's a large selection of teams, but I think this looks really good. Obvious support. Obvious main op. Probably IGL. And config. Okay, let's go Crims first. Bit question, like, does he have high support? He has pretty high support actually, so what we could do is IGL Inters if we really think he's gonna win for them, then support on Crims. Then it's about whether or not there's something good for Glaive though. Defender's not bad on him. Probably headshots on config. Going over the options. Yeah, headshots makes more sense. I think it's probably support on Shiro though. And leader on Glaive and then Crims with. I mean, the question is, what the hell do you put on Crims then? At Hunter? 3%. Probably better. Go multi-fragger even. Or defender. Probably better go multi-fragger though. Okay. Go for this. And yeah, we can throw the first boosters on as well. I think there's a lot of people with this exact lineup based on this. And I guess then if this ends up being one of the better lineups, then a lot of gonna come down to roles where there's some decisions to be made for sure. Because Inters, Glaive, and Crims all are kinda meh. So there's support and leader for them, but then the last one is Crims is not always gonna get this role. But then the other one is boosters versus extra salt. Probably the weakest team they're gonna play against. I'm not saying they're a weak team, like I think they're gonna be pretty good once they transition to complexity. But I don't know if they're gonna be that good right off the bat against a team like Gambit. I think Inter's KST there for sure, right? There's KST here. Hero has higher KST. I need a bit of time to get back into the groove with how I put on boosters and such. 30 bomb makes sense here. Pretty sure. Config 30 bomb. Yeah, he was the best 30 bomb. We're playing against K23, probably one of the weaker teams they play against instead. Headshots, sense we can throw that if we don't find anything better. So, yeah, okay, him and Shiro are best ace. Shiro top of scorecard, of course. Oh yeah. Okay, conflict pusher for the pistols, then glaive. There's something assists. Okay, but later on. There's actually better grenade. Actually, yeah. For this, I can't think of anything. Maybe we go assist instead. Go assist here. And then Crim. Oh yeah, we have Inters as well, but they're just gonna be bottom eventually. Probably in the finals. Dreams is hard to put a booster on. Oh my god. He might actually be Bitskin's one, and then let's just go grenade here. It's probably not that smart here. Yeah. Okay. It's just like if everything goes perfectly, Gambit play 1, 2, 3, 4, so 8. It's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games, I guess. I'm like, wait, no, the only one team goes perfect, so it's 2, 4, 6, 8, and then 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, yeah, then 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So 23 is the maximum amount of boosters you can have. So we don't even always have to put Grimm's boosters because there's like only 17 boosters. We don't really need to put Grimm's like boosters on Grimm's all the time. Okay, that makes sense. You need to take into account it's a bit of a risk because if all these teams get eliminated early, then but they'd have to get eliminated really early for it to backfire. Because they still get to play in the console, like in the lower bracket, even if they lose one match here. You'd have to get quite unlucky, I think. But yeah, that is my lineup. I really hope you enjoy watching fantasy again. As I got really excited when I saw the announcement for the new one. I've been kind of waiting for them to make one for Malta Vibes actually. That's starting quite soon. Maybe they'll make one for that as well. Yeah, okay, not yet. But yeah, if you enjoyed, leave a like and subscription if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next. Bye.